All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Telehealth Tuesday. This is your go to podcast for insights on modern healthcare and wellness solutions. I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt, your host, and today we have a very special episode lined up just for you. But before we get started, I want to let you guys know that Telehealth Tuesday can be viewed on multiple platforms, including our YouTube channel. Dr. BTV, that's the word doctor, DOCTOR, the letter B as in boy, TV spelled out just like that, YouTube. And then also our Facebook and Instagram pages, all of our information. Check out our flyer. All of our social media handles are on there. So please make sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe to help support this amazing program. Now, I want to get right into it. We have see some comments. We have Mr. Lance Griffith. We're blessed to have him again. The second time he was on last year, we got some amazing information. He is a senior analyst and advisor with Merrill Lynch. So I'm going to let him tell you all about himself. I've got his bio, but I noticed that you guys probably listen and get more from it when you hear it from the man himself. So listen, again, we are here each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is Telehealth Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, from all of our viewers and subscribers and family and friends, all walks of life, welcome, hear ye him, the man of the hour, Mr. Lance Griffith. Give it to him.
All right, Doc, you laid it on thick, man. Hear ye him, right? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
It's good to be on. Good to be on, my brother.
yeah, absolutely.
Again, I'm Lance Griffith. I am a senior financial advisor with Merrill Lynch. I've been working in this industry since 2001. Um, Worked with many people, thousands of people actually. I've worked from little ladies, lunchroom ladies, and men, school systems to doctors and lawyers and CEOs throughout my years. I have MBA, also, brother Mike.
I think,
I find
excuse me, Lance. I think we're getting a little either
echo.
echo or delay.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. I wonder if you using from the computer mic or from the phone mic.
My phone.
I wonder if it. Let's try one more time. Let us know if you guys can hear. It's just a little bit of delay. It's not bad, but
I do hear something myself too.
you hear a little bit of yeah. Sometimes it works better, when you because I think when you're I use a microphone, and so with these it makes sure that this doesn't go into the mic for me. But
Hold on.
I think you okay. Yeah, it might work a little better with headphones. You guys out there, how you guys doing? I'm seeing a lot more new people. I see Samantha Rankin over there, Tad Nips, my boy. There's V. Sean England. Big shout out to the House Realty Group. Let me know if I'm saying that correctly. I don't know if you guys are still on there, but hello to everyone in Instagram land. I know we have some new viewers, some new folks joining us, and so like a whole bunch of people here. I see a couple of interesting things in the comments, but we're going to take those out. And then we will go right back with
Can you hear me? Can you hear me better? Or
yeah,
does it
that's
sound
better. That is better.
okay?
Perfect.
All right. I didn't know what was going on,
Yeah,
but
that's better.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm Lance Griffith. I'm with Merrill Lynch. I've been working in this industry since 2001. I work with thousands of people, helping them build wealth and helping them to be able to live a successful life financially and make it make sense. Uh, my history comes from insurance, first with New York Life, and that gives me a little bit different perspective on how to build wealth and how to make it make sense and how to stick. Um, Most people in my industry don't have that background. Also in the estate planning, they don't have that background. So I bring a unique perspective from that. So I appreciate Mike, Dr. Mike, for having me on. Anything
Yeah,
else you want to know about me, man?
absolutely. So you're with Merrill Lynch. And also, I don't if you could just let, for those of you that don't know, I know most people, it's a no-brainer. Merrill Lynch is a household name for most of us, but just in case we have some folks that are not familiar with Merrill Lynch, if you could educate them, let them know what Merrill Lynch is and what services you guys offer.
All right. Um, we're the premier financial services firm in the country. We're the investment arm for Bank of America, which is one of the two largest banks in the country, and one of the largest banks in the world. Um, what we do is basically I can help people um, from building, from first of all helping you to could get a conception of what wealth is, what you can do with it. What I find is most people don't know how to keep it. They can make it, but they don't know how to keep it. We work in the areas of investments, insurance, financial planning, also banking and lending. Those are all the areas we work. I know when I met you in the
Hmm.
doctor group we was working with, it was primarily dealing with the banking and lending piece and also the financial planning piece. And the estate planning, trust services, solutions we can bring to the table also. So anywhere from helping you to conceive it to helping you to make sure that it goes to the next generation as tax efficiently as possible, I can help you do it.
Absolutely. We're making sure we have our folks from Facebook on right now. Let's go ahead and put that up. Okay, there we go. And I want everybody to know that this is interactive. And so, although we have some prepared questions for Lance, but please, your questions are the most important. That's why we're here. So, if you have any questions, comments, or even concerns, please don't hesitate to let us know. Again, that's what we're here for. No question is ridiculous, but there's no bad question on this show, on this platform. So, we're here. We're going to talk. Okay, so it sounds a lot better. Okay, great. So that's what we're here for. We're going to talk all things money related, financial planning, all that good stuff. And so Lance is here to talk about it. All right. First question. Let's get right into it. What would you say, Lance, is the biggest money mistake that people make without even realizing it?
I think the biggest money mistake I see most people make is they they want to be somewhere, but they don't understand what it takes to get there.
Mm,
They want to, in other words, everybody want to be a multimillionaire, right? Remember, I used to say a millionaire, but now it's a multimillionaire.
multimillionaire.
And with inflation and whatnot, it does make sense to think that way. But people don't really realize what it takes to make it and to get there. And that's the biggest mistake I see people do. They don't, because of that, they don't prepare themselves. And when they receive it, or if they receive it, it slips through their hands. And that's what I see the biggest mistake. They don't set their foundation correctly. Matter of fact, they don't even understand about a foundation. They just want you to make me money. But if you don't understand how to keep the money,
Hmm.
you will lose it. Also, I see people that I'm trying to get people to move from a hustler mindset to a business owner to a corporate executive type mindset. If we can operate our homes the same way we expect some of these CEOs to operate,
Mm,
we have the same results. So to go
mm,
back and answer your question more directly, we want to be somewhere, but we're not preparing ourselves to be there.
mm. So you think that's the biggest mistake, like failure to plan effectively, and we like they have an abnormal or unreal expectation? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. I've talked with several 20 something year olds or even teens, and you are what you see. You will become what you see. And we have to create an environment in which it exudes success.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, sir, this wonderful apparatus that you have here, It has to be something, and you putting it out where other people can see that yes, there are Black African American doctors, okay, in your field in the South. It is a such thing as that, okay.
Absolutely.
It is a such thing as that. It is a such thing as a financial advisor that handles millions of dollars, helping made several people cash millionaires. It's a such thing as that. But if you never see it, you my you can't conceive it. It's hard to conceive. These platforms like this, especially these streaming services, have also made it more personable.
Yeah,
Because before then, only time you can see somebody is maybe face to face or maybe on a television set a few years ago. But
that's right.
now you can actually interact with somebody and really shake their hand.
That's right.
So you have to be able to be in places like, for instance, I'm in whatever location I'm in, you in the location you in, we 100 and some miles away from each other,
hmm
but we communicating like we're literally in the same room.
That's right. They're
So
right. They're right there.
we can really shorten the learning curve on a lot of this, that we really didn't have access, or we had to pay thousands of dollars to take a course. Remember,
That's
some of
right.
this stuff we had to take a course.
That's right.
Well, now you can take advantage of it. Freely you receive, freely give. So whatever you get, give it, and then it comes back to you. It'll rush. It'll rush back to you. Maybe in a different form. Maybe in terms of wisdom, so you could be more effective with it. But it will come back. So
Absolutely. Well, we've got a question here from the audience. My good friend Dexter Mayberry. So, and by the way, we have the men's conference, but everyone is welcome. Okay, men are going to be the presenters, but everyone, men and women are welcome. Children, everyone. It's going to be at New Jerusalem from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday. So an amazing conference. Feel free, Dexter, to put the flyer in there in the comments so everybody can see it, and we hope to see you there. But Dexter says, so what would you say, or what do you believe are the three or four major principles or steps to help a person become a multimillionaire?
okay, that's a good question, Dexter. First thing is what you have in your question. Actually, it's the foundational base. You have to first believe. You have to first believe. You have to first believe that you can be financially successful, whether it's a multimillionaire, whether it's buying 15 rental properties over a 10-year period or whatever time, whatever it is, getting that degree or getting that business. First of all, you got to believe it.
hmm
And how do you make people believe it? You have to put people in places in which their faith can be generated, can be ignited, can be ignited. That's the biggest thing. The next thing you have to do is, once you help generate that belief, the next thing you have to do is start walking towards these specifics. And what are the specifics? Like for me, I didn't know I could become a financial advisor, working with people, and some of those things spill off on you that you tell your clients. I ended up getting into this career actually by accident, man, 25 years ago now, by hanging around people at a university when I was getting my MBA. These were actually people of Indian, Pakistani descent, and they were talking about money. I would, in my household that I grew up, we didn't talk about money like this. We don't talk about making it. I didn't know it, but we had a hustler mindset. Even though my mom and dad had careers, they still did not know or understand or couldn't connect the dots or how to move from where they were to being able to be where I am. They see
Mm,
my life right now, and they really can't explain. That's just my son. I'm proud of him.
hmm
You see, so it's my job to take other people and help them to be able to see where I'm at show them how to get there, and help them to move forward. So the first thing is belief, and then
Okay.
giving people clear, concise instruction, and be patient with yourself. You're not anything you get quickly. You may not be able to. Most likely, you're not going to be able to hold it.
Hmm.
You're not going to be able to hold it. Um, I've seen people win a lot of money or get some type of settlement. I've seen it. I've had people that have gotten settlements, accidents, or something of that nature. And because they're not prepared and it suddenly came on them, they end up using or misusing or abusing that money, and they became broke within a few years.
Hmm.
I've seen several people. I have certain clients that come in. Tell you the truth, I don't really like taking on those clients
Okay.
because number one, they don't listen. So, but if I can help them to listen, then they can change. The first thing I tell people to do is to make sure your financial foundation is solid. Got to believe, and then make sure your financial foundation is solid. What do
Okay.
I mean by that? Your insurance. You need to look at your life insurance and your disability insurance. Also, when you look at other assets, if you have a home, obviously homeowners insurance, and this the insurance piece. There is a such thing as being insurance poor, but you need to make sure that what you are saying is actually true. What I tend to make sure when you're dealing with building wealth, when a new person comes to me, first thing I tell them is, do you have an emergency fund? And how much life insurance do you have? Those are the first things because you can't build wealth long term if anything happens, like say for instance, you have an accident or there's a deductible you have to pay, and you gotta keep taking that money that you have in your investments and you gotta live on it today. We gotta get you to a point where you can start believing that you can put back some money on a monthly basis for emergencies and
Mm.
get you out of that credit card loop.
Mm.
If we can get you to believe, that's the biggest thing that I find with my people is to get you to believe, first of all, you can do it, and to get them to move on it. Like I said, everybody want to be successful, but they need to work the foundation so they can be lasting through
Okay.
generations. That's what I'm saying. I know I've said more than two things, more than three things, but really the main focus is belief.
Belief. Okay.
Belief. That's the main that I believe it, and I deserve it like anybody else deserves it.
That's right.
I deserve it like anybody else deserve it. And I want to build a foundation first. Let me explain to you before we go to the next question
Okay.
what it is to build a foundation. You have a family, okay, and most people want to. They don't think. Nobody has a lease on life. Number one. Am I clear, or am I kind of
Yeah. No, it's
sounding
good.
funny?
It's good.
Okay. Want to make sure that you have at least 10 times your income in insurance. And that's not counting, I'm talking about life insurance, and that's not counting if you have any debt. If you own a home, let's say the home is, I don't know, 300,000 or 500,000, whatever it is, you want to make sure there's two actual needs when it comes to life insurance. There's a cash need and there's an income need. All right. If first you want to make sure you have enough to cover the cash need. All right. You don't want to leave your wife or the husband and the kids. You want to leave them with that mortgage and car note and whatever other bills that they may have. You want
Mm-hmm.
to clear them off. Okay. Plus, you want to make sure there's enough insurance at least for 3 to 5 years to replace your income to give that spouse a chance to recover.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, if you can do that, first of all, most people, I ain't gonna say most people, some people can't get past that. You have to learn to love someone else greater than yourself. And if you can get past that, I call it being altruistic, then your belief will start multiplying, and then God will bring
Mm.
you into another level of blessing because
Amen.
you're not just looking to yourself. You're not selfish anymore. Now it's starting to spread. And that's that's what I see. Now once you do that, um, you want to make sure most people don't realize. So you have your insurance. Now you need to look at disability insurance. Okay? Because everybody in here has known somebody that got hurt or got sick. They're
Hmm.
building wealth, but then something happened. They have to see you, doc, and it's something that they didn't plan on. Life happens. You want to make sure, like most people on their jobs, they have short-term disability. First of all, if you don't have it, you need to get it. Okay, and I can't stress this enough. Make sure you get long-term disability insurance to
Mm.
cover you if, in other words, it covers your ability to make a living. You don't want to die twice. It's already enough. Let's say, God forbid, you get into a
Mm.
car wreck or some type of illness comes upon you, and you see your loved one lose their house in the car because you can't work because you don't have you done ran out of emergency fund and you don't have any income coming in, and over 6 months, a year or two, you end up seeing your people lose everything, and then you die. You don't want that.
Yeah, you
That's
don't
like
want that.
going through a special hell. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
right. And he's
So
got to follow it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. He's
yeah,
got to follow up.
go ahead, brother. He said, "So
No,
having faith."
having
Go
faith.
ahead.
Yeah. So having faith without, he- I guess you meant having healthy financial development and saving, investment, and making a wise wealth decision is high probability that a person will waste it. Okay. Is that a question, Dexter? I think you might be making a comment there. I think.
I think I think we kind of started looking into that question, Dexter, or statement. You can have faith, but what we're trying to teach you here, just briefly, is to show you how to be able to build it
To build, you're right.
and to keep it. That's the key. That I see. First, you got to believe it, and then we got to get you to a point where you can start building it and hold it. That's the key. Um, that's the key. There's different ways. Some people are into real estate, some people into stocks and bonds, some people may do a combination of the two, or they may, yeah, of that nature. So it just depends on where your interests are and how you want to build wealth for yourself. But the quicker, Dexter, and everybody on here, you get to the point where it's not just for you, then you can have more than what you can ask or think, because now you tie into something deeper and bigger than you. And a matter of fact, it will live beyond you. I got to get people to believe this because this is what stops most people. Yes, sir. I got you. This is what
Gotcha.
stops most people, and why most people wealth goes back to first base every generation. They didn't sow that seed into their children. This all the children saw was the good things that the parents did, but they made their kids' life too easy.
Mm.
Every person in that home need to go through the same crash course, even though you hated it when you was a child. They need to go through a crash course similarly, because I look at these Jewish homes, Indian homes, and they, for some reason, know how to keep wealth within their family for generations. They just don't go to college to go to college to get a trade to get a trade. Everything they do has meaning. from being 10 years old running the cash register in a hair salon.
Right, right,
You follow me?
right.
So everything,
Well,
and it's their parents' business. It's not their business. It's their parents' business that they're running. So they already have a vision of where they sit in the vision of their home. It's the
mhm.
same way.
Well,
We have to do that. Go ahead, though.
absolutely, absolutely. So if someone is living paycheck to paycheck, what would you say is the very first place that they should start when it comes to saving?
That's a good question. What I tell people is to take a look at their banking statement. Everybody should have a bank account, number one. All right. So let's get that out of the way. We should be past checking the cash and all this stuff. Everybody should have you should have somewhere where your money sits, where you can see it sit, and you can start looking at it and managing it. Um, you will see whether it's connected to a cash app or whatever, or to a debit card or whatever it is. You will see where you're spending your money. Most people waste more money with food, meaning fast food, and or subscription services or streaming services, things that they
Big time,
don't use.
big time.
That's where you got to find out where you're leaking. You know where the leak at in your home. You know you're losing water, but you have to find out where it is. Basically, the way I look at that is, if you don't, you're gonna make Amazon rich. You're gonna make all these places rich. Your wealth, your income is your greatest wealth building tool, and that's why everybody want it. That's why everybody want it.
Can you
But if
can you let the audience know one more time your greatest wealth building tool?
your greatest wealth building tool is your income, that's your first fruit. That's your first fruit. And it's so it is so valuable that everybody want it. Everybody want it. I don't care if you make 20,000 a year or $2.5 million a year. Everybody wants your income because they can make an outcome of your income if you're ignorant. My people perish because of a lack of knowledge.
That's right.
And since you reject it, you cannot be preached in my home, and your kids will be ignorant. Why? Because they can only know what you know. You're their greatest teacher. So we're trying to break a curse here. We're trying to break a curse. We talk about money in my household. I mean, when I was little, we didn't talk about money. Like I said, we wanted the watches and the cars and and the nice things like that. But we never talked about the stock market. We never talked about that stream at 6 o'clock news talking about commodities, and we never talked about that. We never talked about that. I didn't really learn about that until I got out of that environment and got into another environment. And that environment influenced me. I started seeing things, and it caused a belief in me. Um,
Absolutely.
it did, man. I grew up in that era when they had positive things on TV, and it was able to produce a belief in a child. We didn't have to fight all this political stuff and other stuff that's going on. I don't want to talk about that. It was mainly focused on building the community. So that got me to where I am and where I was and where I'm now. Um, what else you got?
Let's see. Dexter saying, my thought is, we can let. Do you believe that a bank is the best place to put money up for savings? It's a two-part question. Do you believe that a bank is the best place to put money up for savings? And does a person's money grow better in a bank versus a credit union?
Well, number one, let me answer that last question first. A bank and a credit union, to be honest, they're about the same. You put in your money into an institution, whether it's state owned or whether it's from a bank or a credit union. They may have different bylaws and all that, but it's FDIC insured.
Hmm.
And it's basically the same thing. I tell people to have just a couple sources of places like that, but have a main place. Um, the first part of that question is, how do you build wealth? Well, first of all, yes, you should. Everybody should have, especially in this society that we're in now, putting money. Well, I don't think nobody does that on this call, but putting money under the bed or in the safe,
Under the mattress.
under the mattress, we got to get past that. All right, we have to get past that. And a lot of people, I've heard people say this. They say, "Well, what if something happened to the bank?" And that could really happen. But what I tell people, if something happens to the bank, we got worse problems in this country. Well, you talking about a depression that we ain't never seen before. So what I tell people is, don't walk in fear. You want to have, you do want to have an emergency fund or a little cash aside in your home in a safe somewhere, for just in case there's a hurricane or some type of major emergency. You do want to have a couple $100 somewhere like that, whatever the number is. I just named a couple $100, and
Hmm.
you may want to build up to that, that you could just put your hands on as cash. Okay, but beyond that, you want to have, build up to your emergency fund, and you want to have it in the bank, in the savings account, something that doesn't have any uh, flow, whether it's up or down. You want to calculate how much your expenses are. That's why you need to have it in a bank. That way you can see what your expenses really are and quit guessing. You know what your house note is or your rent is. You know how
Hmm.
much your groceries are. You know how much the utilities and car note, or whatever it is, student loan or whatever it is. You know how much that is. It gives you something visually to see, and you can see the consistencies of it. And then you can see where you're wasting money. You can even there are even apps in with these banks now, or even with credit card companies, that can categorize your spending,
Hmm.
and that can help you find waste. If you're not doing that, and you just cashing your check, going to Joe Black's checking the cash place around the corner, to going to people that don't even look like you, but it's in your environment, to take your money, to take your income, to better their outcome. Okay, if you can get past that, these checking the cash places, also these rental companies, they are not your friends. They are leeches. I've had to break a few people up with those companies.
Really?
Yes, I went into some checking the cash places with people, and these people were so nice to these elderly people, and I had to tell these people that you're not their friend.
Absolutely.
You're not their friend. They so nice, and they there every day. They in the community, but these people don't even live there. They're raping and pillaging the community. And I'm gonna tell you something personal, brother Michael.
Hmm.
That is the worst thing a human can do, is rape and pillage their own community.
Mm.
What they do, they set us into these places as the face, but the people that own that stuff does not live in that community, and they're killing our elderly, and they causing undue hurt on the younger generations, because now you're taking that income out of the community. It's
Mm.
crazy. I see so much. I didn't walked in the banks with widows, and they didn't understand what products they had or what products their husband had, and they didn't have nobody to help them. So I had to
Wow.
go in there and get understanding for that widow. She never dealt with anything in her life. People taking advantage of her. But when they see a man, and I don't want to sound sexist, but
Hmm.
when they see a man come in there, then they act right, and we get this stuff straight. We have to, Michael, you, me, any other brother, any other man on this call. I'm not just making it male thing, but it
Right.
starts with us. We have to take control of our communities. and it starts in the home. But
Absolutely.
but we have to be that source. We have to be connected to the source to be the source, so that our women and our children can get hope. That's all I'm saying, man.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
I couldn't agree more, man. I could not agree more. Let's see. Building legacy.
That's
Okay.
another question.
Just a quick pause for the cause. I see we've got a few new viewers on Instagram. So, ladies and gentlemen, quickly, Telehealth Tuesday is here for your viewing pleasure and edification and learning. We're here each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, broadcasting. We have amazing guests each and every Tuesday. So, make sure to tune in. Further announcements will come, but you never know who you'll see. So make sure that you're here. You don't want to miss out. And this is completely 100% free subscription. We're not even making money off this. We're just doing this because we want to give back. This is our ministry and we're doing this for you. Okay. So the next question, why is it that why do budgets feel so hard, to get them to stick? And how can we make them actually work in real life? Like what would you say, Lance? Is everybody's always saying I'm on a budget. I'm trying to pay this down. I'm trying to pay my house down, student loans, pay my car off. But it's so hard, to get that to stick. So yeah, what's the key to that, making them work?
Okay. You got two ways of looking at it, but really it's the same. You got people that look at things half empty and people that look at things half full. A person that like that budget word, they really a person that can look at things half empty. If you look at the
Okay.
other side, most people are the other side. They look at things half. I want to teach people how to look at things half full. All right. So because of those half full people, I want to tell them don't look at it as a budget. Look at it as a spending plan. Okay. Look at it as, instead of saying a budget, say a spending plan. If you do a spending plan, you tell your money where to go. And if you tell your money where to go, the budget will line out and go into the right places to benefit you. Tell your money where you want to go. Not just don't tell you what not to do. Tell you where you want it to go. If you can make that mental thought in your mind change it, then all of a sudden you grab your wealth building tool and now you're using it as a hammer.
Mm, okay, I like the metaphor, the analogy there.
All of a sudden, that's when it becomes. And remember, I told you about faith, belief.
Hmm.
Some people may say, I don't have enough. But when you start working with that little, some reason more show up. It may be because of the delayed gratification, like Brother Dexter was talking about.
That's right.
It may be because you're preparing yourself for more. It may be because you're pointing your money in the right direction and more is coming back. Like, for instance, you start putting money into savings. Next thing you know, you got more savings.
That's right. That's right. That's
You
right.
got more savings. You you may have debt, and I'm a big proponent of the. I'm gonna tell you what I hate. I'm gonna tell you what I hate first. I hate. Oh God, I can't help it. I hate these places that try to sell you on these debt consolidation loans. Those actually are scams, most likely. And I know maybe some people want to do that. It's something you can do yourself. Why do I need somebody else to do it? Okay. I tend to look at, if you starting off from the smallest to the largest, I do not pay attention to the interest, because you need to have some wins.
Okay.
Those are the things. If you can have some wins, you can build confidence, which helps you to build your faith, and you go on to the next. I'm telling you what I did. My wife, years ago, I want to say it was 2016, we were kind of like floating. My wife saw that we should be paying off some of the debt. I was like, well, let's just keep it going. We got enough income coming in. But one day, had to be a divine touch from God. I woke up one day and said, we need to pay this debt off. We need to start paying this debt off. She didn't say anything like I told you, so I've been saying it. All she saw was she saw her man take the lead. And when we took the, she stood right beside me, and within 2 years, we was out of debt except for our house.
Wow. In how many in 2 years?
Within
And
2 to 3 years, because we
really?
made up our mind. We
Wow.
made up. I'm telling you from what I know. I've testified to this in several churches, several places. You assets will come to your way. You will. It's crazy how that works. Once
That's
you make up
amazing.
your mind, one to put 1,000, two 10,000. Okay, 3-4 cord is not easily broken. I think that's over in Ecclesiastes 3.
Hmm.
We have to believe. We have to believe first. But I'm here to faith come by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Well, guess what? I am. We have to help people to believe, but we have to do it so we can believe first.
Amen. Amen. We've got a question by the good Dr. Andrew Clark. Drew, you on there still, man? And he submitted a few minutes ago. He said, "Where?" Oh, by the way, big shout out to his Northtown Pharmacy. Dr. Clark owns Northtown Pharmacy, amazing minority-owned business. And he and his lovely wife, and so big shout out to you guys and everything you're doing in the community. But he's saying, where or what should we be investing in over the next 5 years?
Good question. That would depend on your risk tolerance and what your goals are. But I tend to, especially because of the volatility uh, of the market. Uh, you're talking about 5 years. It depends on you if you're on that other end of 5 years or you're on the shorter end of 5 years. If you can't take the volatility because you need the money within a couple of years, I wouldn't recommend you do any more than maybe money market, CDs, or
Mhm.
things of that nature. If you need that money, you know you're going to need that money because you don't know when you invest in it, you don't know where you are in the cycle of the market. Number one, if you can keep it in there for 3 to 5 years, at least 3 to 5 years, you generally can come. If even if you going into a dip, you generally would come out of it within that time. Look at 2022. 2022 was a market in which bonds and stocks, it was a no man's land. It was a bloodbath.
Absolutely.
It was a bloodbath in 2022. And I don't want to go into the reasoning. I can give you that, but that's not the question. But look at it from the end of 2022 to 2025. Man, the market since 2023, I know in the portfolio I looked at, is up 41%. It's crazy, man.
41%.
It's crazy. It's crazy. At one portfolio I looked at. So people missed it if they didn't get in. But there are going to be
41.
other
Woo.
opportunities. But we can't keep missing these opportunities and say it's going to be all right. So to answer his question
Absolutely.
a little bit more specific, it depends on your risk tolerance and your time frame. Um, that's what it depends on. I'm gonna tell you me because the market is volatile right now, and we're dealing with tariff gate and all,
Yeah,
all this,
Tab Gate. Yeah.
okay, and all this. I will tell people, most people, just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do this. I would look into large cap growth value funds or companies. That's where I would go because those companies are what we call blue blood companies.
Hmm.
They've been through some of them 80, 90, 100 years of this type of stuff. This is not the first time we've had rocky market. This is not the first time and it won't be the last time. And people are making money like none other in this market. So that's what I would tell people: large cap value. Not only me, but we had a an advisor with J.P. Morgan came on and talked with us today. We all kind of collaborate. They're all saying the same thing: large cap value. Um, Is I'll give you some examples. A large example of a large cap value is Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're gonna need toothpaste, man.
You're
Whether
gonna
it's a
you're
good
gonna
time
need
or
something,
bad time,
something from them.
you're gonna need something from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Procter and Gamble, you're gonna need something from them that they make. It doesn't matter if it's we're in depression or we're in the greatest expansion ever known to man. You're gonna need something from those companies. Those are the companies that's been around since 1800s. That's been around since the 60s, 50s, whatever, how long they are. That's the companies that I would say. Now, most people want to talk about the sexy stuff, the AI. I do agree with that. A lot of those companies have AI investments. Okay, you need to research them out. I'm not going to give any recommendations, but those are the type things that we need to be looking at. But you do need to have a foundation. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need. You need to have. It's called asset allocation. You
Asset
don't want to have
allocation.
all your eggs in one basket. That is the biggest mistake that you can make, is having all your eggs in one basket. This is not like you own a business. I'm selling widgets and this is what I do. No, what you're doing here, you buying companies that have products or services that people find valuable. It's not just buying. In other words, I give you this. The value of your investment should not just depend on the appreciation of the market, of it in the market. It should have another gain from interest and dividends. That's how you weather the storm when the value of the market goes down, because those companies have good enough balance sheets to keep paying those interest and dividends. So it buoys you whenever the market is down. You're still
Mm.
making money, even if the market is down. That's how
Yeah.
you build wealth. I have a chart I can show, I can talk
Yeah.
about, that goes over that. It's crazy, man.
So
I don't want to. Yeah,
so is that one of those high index? So you're saying basically almost like a guaranteed way to make sure that you don't lose with the fluctuations in the market and the changes and all of that.
man. Let me tell you something, sir. I can show you some things that since the 20s, there have been all kind of emergencies that
Hmm.
happened since the 20s. The world didn't ended 10 times,
Right.
and that's probably conservative. And if people would have stayed in the market, it would be so much more wealth. But because my people,
I think we just lost Lance there. Let me see. Can y'all? Okay, here we go. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go, right there.
yeah. That's what I'm
Okay, there we
saying.
go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can
there
you hear me?
we got you.
Yeah. And mainly it's because of ignorance, and it's nothing wrong. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got you. We got you.
Okay. It's nothing wrong with being ignorant. Um, it's just you don't want to stay there. That's the key, and that's why we have these type of platforms be able to help people. But this is not a sexy, so to speak, topic, but it's a necessary topic.
It's a
You know
very
what I mean? It's a very necessary topic. It's not. I don't talk. If you listen to me and feel my spirit, I'm not trying to woo you. I'm trying to give you the foundations so you can go from to the next level, 2 or 3 levels in your life. And if you do run into an inheritance or some type of windfall, you're able to keep it and you can move in confidence. And you can take your family to third base into home plate and batter up again instead of always falling back, never getting to first base or at the most second base, and then got to fall back to first. And I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. We got to get more people in scoring position in the community, not just Oprah Winfrey or whoever. We got to get Michael Bookhardt. You
Mhm.
know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. Come
We
on.
got to get people like you that win in the community so that these young people, young girls and boys, can see Michael Bookhardt, Lance. I see Ridley on here. I see Brendan Slayer on here. We got to get more people, or say Sailor. We got to get more people in those positions. And that doesn't necessarily mean corporate positions. It could be working in a small business.
Yeah,
It could be
that's right.
working, working in a corporation. I mean, every day. I mean, it's several things. Or you can be working your regular job and at home getting you a hustle that eventually becomes a business. It's several things you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. We had another, hopefully, Andrew, that answered your question there. We've had, see, so um, is it, so would you say, Lance, that it's truly possible for the average person, this is just the average Joe Blow walking down the street, could the average person truly start investing with just a little bit of money, something like $50 a month, 75, $100 a month? Can the average person truly make a difference with investing a smaller amount of money?
Man, absolutely, sir. First of all, if you own a company, if you with a company, you should take advantage of the investment platform, whether it's a 401k, 403b,
Hmm.
457.
Okay.
You should take advantage of that. That you starting dollar for dollar, and if they match, they'll match it up to a certain amount. Before you get to one, you got to be at zero. So
That's right.
everything starts from zero, but you got to take that first step. Okay, if you don't have access to that, yes, there are platforms in which you can invest $50 a month, $100 a month, and just be patient. What you have to do is forget about it. Set it according to your risk tolerance and forget about it.
Set it and forget
That's
it.
for land 20 years from now. It's not for lands right now. But that's why I tell people you got to get your emergency fund in place and you got to make sure you have your insurance in place first, because you're not going to be able to let that money sit there and grow and you continue to add to it if you always got to go and pull the pecan out the ground. It can never become a tree. It can never take care of you and replace you if you don't let it grow. You'll be surprised how much money you will receive in 20 years. In 20 years, it's not that long. It's not that long,
It's not
especially
long.
it's not at all. It rotates kind of quickly the older you get. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, to answer your question, there's several platforms that you can do it. You can start off with an IRA. You got Roth IRA, you got traditional IRAs, you got brokerage accounts. There's different ways that places you can put your money within that. But yes, there are places that you can do, and it makes sense. You got to start from somewhere. You got to start from somewhere.
Absolutely. Another question here we have. I know we're getting close to the time. Another question here. So, what would you say? Well, I think we'll skip that question there. And you talked about already. We had a question on going out to eat, and subscriptions. You touched on that already, and so um, what would you? I tell you what. Let's talk about these credit cards. What would you say is the smartest way to handle credit cards? And would you say that credit cards are a tool or a trap?
Good question. I've evolved on this. I've evolved on it. It could be a trap if your mind don't understand it. It could be a tool if your mind understands it. Um, what I tell people, especially in this online generation, I do not shop online with a debit card. You can't
Mm,
use cash. So
okay.
what's left? Credit card. If them people hack your account, let them get Visa money.
Visa money. Right, right.
Visa got lawyers and they're gonna get their money and they'll give you back yours. But to answer your question directly is if you use credit wisely, it can be an asset. What I tell people is, like I said, everybody wants your income, and the credit card companies want your income too, in terms of interest. 30, 40%. That's crazy. You borrow $100, if you, it's going to eventually you're going to pay back 140. If you pay it back in them, it's crazy. It's crazy how
It
that works.
really is.
It takes wealth out of your mouth, out of your hands, and you can't do anything. You're making them wealthy. You're building Visa another building. It's going to their child's trust fund, buying them another yacht. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? And it's
That's right.
taking it out of your mouth. But we don't have enough to work with. So what I tell people, don't charge what you can't pay off in a month. So you can use so you can use their money and leverage their money, get the points, but pay it off. And then use it again. It's called a line of credit. If you can get several lines of credit and use them wisely, whether it's a home equity line of credit, whether it's a credit card, whether it's a asset-based line of credit on your stock portfolio, and we do that. Whatever it is, if you can do that and manage it wisely, you just leverage yourself 3 or 4, 5, 10 times. But you have to be able to not over leverage yourself. Don't borrow anything on a local credit card that you can't afford to pay off every month, because you can't afford. I was looking at a kinfolk bill the other day. She
What
was
kind of
paying
what was that? No,
a loved one, a loved one.
oh, kinfolk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
a loved
thought you
one.
said something
And
else.
she wanted me to look at her credit card bill. She had an automatic payment. This a couple of days ago. She had an automatic payment coming out of the credit card. And when I looked at the bill, because she wasn't looking at it, or she didn't understand or something, I don't know. And I told her I think she was half of her payment, automatic payment, was going to interest. She didn't even know it.
Half of her half.
Half of her payment, yes,
Oh my goodness! So she's not
was
even knocking the principal down. I mean,
no. They were knocking her in the head. I told her that she need to double her payment
yeah.
because
Gee.
they're killing you. You'll never be able to pay that. I think they look at it. They have had and she didn't even look at. That's the crazy part. She didn't even look at it. She said, I think she borrowed 9,000. She said if she continued to, they said, and they got it in bold writing, so they can't say it's not on there. But why my people perish because of a lack of knowledge?
That's
They're
right.
saying that it was saying that if she keep paying like she paying it that way, she's gonna end up paying back $15,000-$16,000 on a $9,000. That's what I'm saying. That's
That's crazy.
$6,000-$7,000 of interest on a poor person. My people perish because of a lack of knowledge.
A
How many
lack of
thousands of
knowledge.
millions of people that Visa or Uncle Master got us like that? And when I told her to double it, that's going to double and cut everything down. And let me tell you, when you start doing that, guess what? She had the income to do it. That's the crazy
Oh,
part.
really?
She had the
So,
income to do it, but she thought she was doing good, but she didn't read it. She didn't read, or she didn't understand it. So she had me come in and take a look at it. And I told her, you need to double this. And I guarantee you, I can say this of a surety. Once you start doing right by the resources God gave you, He'll give you more resource to work with. I don't know how, it just show up. Maybe because you manage the stuff better. Maybe it's because you cutting things off, or you not eating out as much. Maybe because you don't eat out as much, your health gets better. You buy less medicine. It's
yeah,
something.
yeah. So when she doubles up the payment, is she gonna do they automatically apply that second payment to the principal? Or
Not in the credit card. Not in the credit
not in the
card.
credit
But
card.
it
Okay.
does pay it off sooner. It pays off like double sooner.
Okay.
It knocked her interest down. I like $2,000 or $3,000. It knocked the interest down. There was nothing else that we ever can do about it other than pay it off, or maybe move it to another credit card with a zero balance. But those are traps too. They try to get you into those credit cards, and then you don't pay them off. Next thing you know, they jack the interest up. It's ridiculous. So
That's
if I could
horrible.
get her from giving them 7,000 or 6,000 to 2,000 or 3,000, that's better. It's not perfect, but it's better.
It's definitely better.
Yes.
Um,
So
if
just things like that.
if you guys I'd love to take the next just two more questions. If any more are gonna coming from the live studio audience. Looking over here to our Instagram side, we had a few new folks that are still on there. So we thank you all for joining us. But we are right here at 8. But if Lance, if you're cool to hang out maybe about 10 more minutes. Yeah, okay, great. So we'll hang out for 10 more minutes if you guys have questions. If not, I will get one. I want to get one more in myself. We wanted to, and one of them was about end of life planning, but we did have 2 shows on that with a couple of good friends of mine. We talked about living wills and insurance and all that good stuff. But one of the big questions I had, which was for the end of the show, if you had to give just one golden rule for financial freedom, what would that golden rule be?
Get control of your income. Get control of your income.
Get control.
And that's going to be based on your vision for where you want to be. But you got to get control of your greatest wealth building tool. Get it out of the hands of Walmart, Visa, MasterCard, Chevrolet, BMW. Get it out of their hands.
Okay. You heard it first, folks. Again, I know Dexter, you're still on, Andrew Clark, all you good people. If you got something else or any follow-up questions, let us know before we get out of here. I think in the other...
Can I say something?
Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I saw asset. I mentioned asset allocation earlier.
You did, right?
And you kind of put emphasis on it. All that means is different industries. Okay, that means you may have some in consumer services. You may have some in technology. There may be different sleeves in technology. You could have some in just different industries. And let me tell you something. I tend to invest for asset allocation rather than companies, because there are companies out here that you don't know about. And if you invest according to asset allocation, you'll get them too. That's why it's important to look at mutual funds, ETFs, let the professionals do it, because they can grab things that you don't even know about. You don't need to look at Kramer or whatever the next sexy stock is out here. No, leave that to the professionals, and you do what you do well, and you let them do what they do well. Trust the professionals. Trust Michael. He's a doctor. When it comes to what he does, trust them. And you may collaborate with them, ask them questions, but trust them. Trust the source of the information, especially when the source has proven itself to be in your best interest. If it has proven itself, if it hasn't, then you need to make sure it's proven first. But when that source is proven, trust the source. But that doesn't mean you don't ask questions. You always have the right to ask questions.
Absolutely. I think we'll leave it there, good folks. Man, Lance, I really appreciate it, brother. This has been a second show with you to help our people, giving them just kind of a little, crash course on some things when it comes to financial investing. And actually, you know what? I forgot. I had one more question, was end of life planning, right? We talked, like I said, we had 2 episodes on this for you, for those of you on here. Make sure to subscribe, especially when you go to YouTube page. This is episode number 57, and I can't remember which episode it was. One was this year, I think one was last year, where we talked about end of life planning. We're talking about living will, trust, all that good stuff. But I would love, my question for you, Lance, was, is it ever too early? I think, was that the question we had? Was it too early? When should one start truly thinking about end of life planning? Is it ever too soon or early? And when we talk about end of life, we're talking about a living will, we're talking about a trust. Because you all know there are a lot of times people have a GoFundMe, grandma done died and kicked the bucket, or somebody's died, especially if it's unexpectedly, or a younger person. They had no living will, nothing established, no burial plan. And now we're all over looking crazy on the internet, on social media, get with a Cash App and looking for and doing a GoFundMe. So the question is, what is the right time And is it ever too early to think about end of life planning?
The time is now, because nobody has a
Now.
lease on life. I'm gonna mention this. I've had to put to me this way: the leaning tree is not always the first to fall. You just don't know. And if you got people here that's depending on you, then you need to be responsible and take charge of if something happens or when something happens. I mentioned that earlier with life insurance
Mm-hmm.
and also disability income. Sometimes you just don't die at first. Sometimes you go through a long-term care event. Also, long-term care insurance. When you get in your 50s and beyond, you need to be planning for that. That's end of life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the answer is now. You need to start planning because you never know. If you're in your 20s, I know it's hard for you to see that.
It's hard for them to see that.
It's hard, but those habits you develop by loving someone more than you love yourself will carry you on. You will make more money with that attitude than what you ever can make by being selfish. And
Mm.
you do have enough. You just don't know it. You do have enough. You just giving it to McDonald's or wherever place you're going. You do have enough. And so I want people to stop that. I don't have enough. And it makes you do crazy things because as a man thinketh in his heart, so
So
is he.
so is he.
If I'm thinking I'm inadequate, I am inadequate. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna breed that to your children and to your children. We got to break the cycle. It goes back to what I said before. You got to believe.
Amen. Amen to that. Good folks, we're gonna leave it there. I'd love for Mr. Lance Griffith to tell you guys how he can be contacted. I'd love for you to tell the viewers, what's the best time to reach out. If you do business, well, we know you do business in Mississippi and Louisiana, and if you're taking on new clients, how they can reach you, and whatever else you want them to know, man. You got the floor, Lance.
All right. Um, I can be found a couple of different ways. LinkedIn, Michael Bookhardt, he knows
Oh
that.
yeah.
I'm always on there. Lance Griffith, financial advisor, Merrill Lynch. You can look me up through Mike, and you can see me there. You can friend me, and we can get together. Um, Also, you can give me a call, 318 Let me know who you are. And text me, let me know. That way I know who you are. Because, you get a lot of calls. I do work. I'm licensed in several states, not just Louisiana, Mississippi. Oh, my God. Yeah, several states. I've
Okay.
learned from California to Texas to Missouri, Florida. It's other places that I have good clients. Arkansas is other places that I have good clients. Georgia. So if the opportunity is there and it makes sense, I can do what I need to do to get licensed in that state.
Okay.
So to let you know, Colorado. Yeah, I forgot about Colorado. Just different places. So you know.
Awesome. Well, man, I really want to thank you again for being here. It's every time I talk to you, man, we got to do it more often and even offline. But always something to learn from you, man. And we appreciate everything you're doing in the community and being unapologetic about making sure that we remember where our help comes from, and that's from God. So I know you never shy away from that, and so. We appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. Next week, make sure to stay tuned. I think next week, do we have? I had another interesting. Oh, that young lady. That's going to be September 30th. Okay, well, we'll hold that. But next week, Mr. Emmanuel Williams. Man, this guy's like Mr. Businessman. Matter of fact, I need to introduce you, Lance, to Emmanuel Williams. If you haven't already met him, he's a business guy, man, philanthropist. He's got a radio show, does does a lot of things here in the city. I don't know if he's a lobbyist. I'm gonna have to get that. But anyway, he's really active in Jackson. He's one of those go-to guys. Emmanuel Williams is gonna be here with us, man. We're gonna have a great time. So I'm gonna hook you up with him, Lance. And so, again, this has been another fantastic episode of Telehealth Tuesday. We love all of the fantastic audience support. Thank you all for being there with us for 57 episodes. With that said, we hope you'll join us next Tuesday. Don't just keep this for yourself. Make sure to bring a friend, 7 p.m. And don't forget to subscribe to Dr. B TV, DOCTOR, the letter B as in boy TV. Make sure to subscribe and tell somebody, okay? If there's somebody you want us to see, please DM us, email us, call us, whatever you need to do. And let us know who you want to see. If you want to be on the show yourself, hey, if you want to see Lance again, or whoever. Drop us a line. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So God willing, we'll see you always on a Tuesday. And remember that this is the place where we treat and discuss mind, body, and soul. True wealth begins with good health. See you next Tuesday.